are actually a lot of places in this country where you can carry a gun where they also serve alcohol. And of course, that can sometimes lead to some bad behavior.
Welcome to First Person Defender, where regular people come face to face with unknown attackers and fight their way out.
This is David. He's former law enforcement, retired, carries a gun every day, and does train. He's not wanting to get involved in situations that don't involve him or his family. Let's see how he does.
The last thing you ever want to do is shoot somebody, especially if there's an inkling that you might not have to. We're going to put David into some tough situations. I've got John Correia with me from HK and Active Self-Protection. He's a specialist in analyzing these types of events. We're going to be using Umarex T4E non-lethal paint marking cartridges, so there is a pain penalty.
Yeah, and we're going to put him in some spots that aren't easy. I'm excited to see how he does. Here we go.
Oh my.
I'll just have a vodka water.
I think I know that guy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he comes in here a lot.
I'm gonna go say hi, man. Jason, you dude, what's up, brother? You got a Zen I can borrow?
What the hell, dude? I told you. Come on. Hey,
I don't know you.
Hey, back up.
Who are you?
I'm his dad.
I'm sorry, you need to control him.
You're absolutely right. I agree. I'm sorry for that.
Really good job doing a little de-escalation there. Hey man, my bad, this is my son, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly what he should do.
What he should do there. Really, really good work.
Just focus on me.
Let me just talk to him real quick. I think I talk to him real quick. Hey, hey, dude, I just want to call, dude.
I'm sorry,
bro.
I'm sorry.
Get out.
Whoa.
No. Put the knife up.
I'm dead serious.
Hey, look,
Put the knife up.
He's holding, but he's not drawing. He's leaving him there.
I'm talking to
You need
you.
to control him.
Put the knife up.
Oh, hey,
Drop it.
hey, easy.
Drop it.
Easy, man. Easy. I'm not dropping this knife. It's very expensive.
Then get out of here.
Dude, hey.
Go. Go.
Are you going to do something?
Go.
Dude.
He can't even get the door open. Come on.
And now he can't get the door open.
Get out of there.
Go.
Dude, man, that was pretty dang decent.
You're out of here.
Whoa, we need to call the cops or something? Like, what's up
Yeah,
with
call
this?
911, tell them that we had a altercation in the bar.
Index.
All right, so we're going to see the interview now. After action report with Ryan. Let's hear what he has to say.
So David, walk me through what happened here.
Okay, well, I'm sitting here in the bar with my son, and obviously he's had more than he needs to drink, and so I've cut him off, but he thinks he knows the guy. He goes over, says something to him, touches his shoulder. The guy takes offense to it. I stepped up and separated, and I apologized to him. I made my son sit down and again told him no more. And then my son gets up and goes back again, and this time the guy, when he approaches him and touches him, he pulls a knife. Once I saw the knife, I kind of stepped back. I went ahead and reached for my gun. I put my hand on my gun. I was telling him put it down, I recall, and he would not do that. He even kind of, as I recall, maybe advanced a little bit, at which point I drew the gun.
Yeah, what made you decide to draw it?
I think it was my perception that he was advancing with the weapon, so he was starting to take an aggressive move as opposed to more of just a threatening move. And at that point I displayed the firearm and just told him, drop the knife. He said he would not drop the knife. I said, then leave.
What is it that you sensed? What did you see? What did you hear? What did you feel that told you you didn't need to shoot him?
I think it was a lot of things. His facial expression changed somewhat, his tone of voice, and just his overall body language seemed to, where he was like escalating and becoming more aggressive, suddenly he started like deflating a little bit.
There it was.
Facial expressions.
That was really, really good.
Means, opportunity, and intent.
Intent.
He obviously had the means, he obviously had the opportunity to stab somebody, but his intent wasn't there. And we glean intent from body actions and the face.
I mean, you're former law enforcement, you've done a lot of training. I mean, he was already too close with a knife, right? I mean, we all know the 21-foot rule.
Absolutely.
It could have happened really fast.
And I had a constraint because he kind of had my son backed up in a corner, and I wasn't going to back out over here and leave him because I felt like I could control it better here.
You wanted to stay close to your son.
Then I felt like, and actually to him, even though he had a knife, I felt like I could control the entire situation by trying to get him to focus on me instead of, if I was back here, then he was totally focused on the son.
When you drew your gun and you're pointed at this guy with the knife, what was behind him?
I'm not sure.
This is the one place
I didn't see him.
he falters. What was my backstop?
Honestly, I was not thinking about that at that point. I was totally focused on controlling him because he was the immediate threat.
Did you consider changing your angle if you had to shoot?
I did not.
Okay.
No, I did not. Like I said, I could have done a better job on being aware of who was behind me. I just did not feel comfortable actually in taking my eyes off of him.
All right, on the range, worked with the HK VP9 SK. This is their compact version of the VP9 series. Something I like about this gun is the front sight. It's bright green. They worked with XS sights on this. It's a great front sight for me. It really jumps out. When I'm on the range, I'm always challenging myself to practice a hard front sight focus, a crisp focus, because when there's a bad guy down there, your eyes are going to want to focus on the threat downrange, and you have to train yourself and challenge yourself to have a good front sight focus to get those important hits when it matters most. Check it out, the HK VP9 SK.
Well, David, John and I thought you did a fantastic job. The stuff that we're going to talk about in training is going to be really small and nitpicky. One of them more important than the others. I'm going to start with this. Backstop. You couldn't answer what was you knew what your target was, but you didn't know what the backstop went beyond was. So that's really important. So we're going to talk about that and how maybe we can expand on that. John?
Yeah, second thing, I think you did an excellent job of stating I saw his intent, that I didn't have to shoot him in that moment. And we're gonna tweak those a little bit and maybe get some ideas of when will that change.
We'll talk a little bit about shooting from the high ready, because you're familiar with being at the high ready, being able to shoot from this position as well as to present really quickly. I think you'll get something out of it, but everybody watching is gonna get a lot.
So of course, this is one of the hardest parts of this, is this idea of what's in my backstop.
Exactly.
And you know, we talk about this all the time, but of course, the knife comes out and all my attention comes in here. So I'm gonna start here again. This is a training gun, right? So an empty training gun for me as well. We know yours is loaded. But this idea that says, here's my safe backstop is my bad guy. And the only really safe direction that I have here is nothing, because now when I look, what's behind him?
Yeah, I see the people.
Yeah, now I've got multiples back behind him that I go, oh no. So is my answer here, well, I can't point a gun at him? Or is my answer here, I can't miss? So you did a good job. In this particular case, no harm, no foul, and I didn't see you point a gun at anybody that didn't need a gun pointed at him. But that idea that says, how do I do this? Well, I'm so focused here when I'm seeing my bad guy, can I soften my vision enough just to see behind him too and to verify, okay, I can't miss, but God forbid I do, I get, you know, a safer place to do that. Now, in this particular case, if you wanted to make it safer, which way do you think you'd go?
I think that in this case, I'd probably move to this side to get them over since there's nothing here.
Okay, so you've got nothing here. You know, the funny part for that is, for me, from where I'm standing, I'm in the opposite direction, right? So I'm coming this way because that gives me in this spot, which reminds us, of course, this is entirely contextually determined, right? Sure. So what I want you to do here is switch spots with me. Okay. And now think about that from that position. Now in this spot, what do you think?
I think I would move to this side to get him quicker. I wouldn't have to go as far to get him clear of the backstop.
So if I was here, isn't that crazy that based on one step, right? Now I've got to get way over here to get a spot, whereas here I've got this other one. I want to actually think about this as well, because what we're going to do is just give you an opportunity here to look at this bad guy And one of the big ideas that we said, and you did such a great job of this, is that the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? That his face tells me his expression. And in particular, we're so good at reading just little differences in eyes and how, you know, that intention is. So here's this idea, and I want you to actually do this time, to pick your spot here and step yourself to a safe backstop for him. Which way do you want to go?
I think I would move this way based on how this is set up.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Okay, so you got to a spot where now you feel like your backstop is good, okay? You got a safe bad guy here, we're in a safe environment. I want you to draw your Sims gun, so then that way you're in that same spot. Now you decided here, okay, so that gun is out and on him and you start giving him commands, but you're not looking down your sights here, you're looking at his eyes, yeah? Now when he gives you something that says, no, that guy needs to be shot, go ahead, shoot him. See that difference? What was it in his eyes that told you that?
The forward movement, he kind of hunched his shoulders, and I noticed that his facial expression went hard.
Oh, I love it. Now, if he gives you a different facial expression, so I've got the gun up and on him again, we see all that stuff, and now he turns and he goes, oh boy, there it is. Now maybe I can issue a command here, right?
Right.
Now, what kind of command? I mean, you got 37 years.
Get back.
There we go.
Get back.
Back up.
Get back up, get away from me.
And he does it.
Keep doing it, good.
Good.
Good, keep backing up.
You know the thing I loved about that command too? Simple, positive command. You gave him a very simple command. You didn't say, don't come any closer. Because of course, when you say don't do that, what does he actually hear?
He hears, do it.
Come closer.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. Don't touch that knife. They hear, touch the knife, and they immediately do it. You said, get back. That was an excellent command. Last thing we want to talk about here, again, I am with the sim gun, the empty one here, is when my gun, and I'm in this close proximity to him, and this gun is sitting out here in front of me, I get within about 2 arms lengths of this guy, and he can reach out and he can impact that, right?
Exactly.
And so what I want to experience here is we've gotten in a safe backstop if I am in a compressed ready position. Now, some folks prefer a low ready position, right? So this is idea of a very low ready here that I can see his hands, I can see his waist, I can see his face, I see all that, I can bring the gun up here. From a compressed ready, if I know this is kind of a problem and I'm in this close spot, the question is, can I get an acceptable hit from here and shoot him from this position? And I bet you can. I want you to experience that. So we're in a safe spot here. I want that gun up and high in this compressed ready position. Now, some folks would argue that this is unsighted fire, but of course it's sighted fire. Can you kind of see in your peripheral down the slide of the gun? Is that gun pointed at him?
Yes.
Well, can you get a hit on him from here?
Yes.
If you have to. There we go. And we got multiples on him and he goes, ow, that's no fun at all. Right? So can I get here, and does this increase my margin of safety here in terms of keeping my gun?
I think so, yes.
I think it does. So how far away do I want him to be to have that? Oh gosh, pretty determinative based on the facts, right?
Yeah, he's way too close.
Yeah, he's pretty close now, so maybe that position really helps me.
You thought that was going to be louder, didn't you? All right, the HK416 in 22 long rifle. Do you have an AR for home defense? Do you practice with it? I know 5.56 ammo can be pricey, especially when you're doing it 1,000 rounds at a time, but of course 22 can save the bank budget and get you a little bit more trigger time. So what I like about this is, I mean, it's an AR. It has the same controls. You can practice running the gun the same way as you would your typical AR, but save a lot of cash. And actually, it may be better practice because you're gonna have less recoil and you're not grooving bad habits, overcompensating for that. So check it out, the HK416 in 22 LR.
Brought to you by Range Ready, preparing you to win the day, one shot at a time.
If we get in a close quarters situation where we actually have to shoot somebody very, very close, the last thing we want to do is actually press our gun into that person. Because if I press the muzzle of my gun into somebody, it knocks it out of battery. It's not going to fire. So what we have to do is we can actually push in, think about it, and pull back. What's our target area? How about hips? I like hips. Hips, I can ground this person. May not be a lethal shot, but I can stop them right where they're at and put them into place. I can create distance. So my gun comes up and out, maybe a shot here, maybe a shot there. little bit of practice, you can hit almost every time. I don't want to drive the gun into this person. I want to pull it back, make my shot, come over here, maybe make another shot. And I'm pretty sure one to that pelvic girdle will take him down. This is close quarters shooting.
Crimson Trace known for lasers, but they also make a lot of weapon-mounted lights. Some of them are instinctive activation, and some of them are universal fit, so you can fit them on a lot of different guns. You gotta see what you're shooting at and if you should even shoot. Check them out. Lights from Crimson Trace.
First Person Defender brought to you by HK, T4E, and Crimson Trace.
All right, so John, I let you have entire say in this scenario. I kept my nose out of it. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I am concerned how it's going to go because you said you were going to ramp it up.
I can't go home right now, man. It's like,
Well, yeah, you can. You just come to my house, sleep on the couch tonight.
I know. Look, that guy.
Don't worry.
No, I gotta drive. Hey, man.
No.
Hey,
No.
We got enough of the.
Hey,
We got enough of the.
come on.
Look, hey.
On. Dude, I didn't do anything. What are you doing?
I've got it.
This is gun out.
Yeah, he's got his gun out.
Whoa! Hey! Oh man, he just shot that guy. Somebody call the cops. Hey, are you?
Move.
You just shot that guy. You killed him.
Call 911.
I'll call 911.
Tell them that we were attacked.
911?
Index.
All right, Dave, we put you into a similar scenario. Walk me through what happened.
We're sitting here, obviously my son is to the point where we need to leave. I'm trying to talk him into we need to leave at that time, but he's fixated on this guy's been aggressive to him, and I'm trying to get him out, and he still manages to make contact with him, and then things start to escalate. It went into the corner, so that really prohibited a lot of movement.
You didn't have control of the situation.
Not at all. No, not at all, and I don't like that.
Yeah. So this fight kind of goes into the corner of the room. Mm-hmm. What are you seeing? And I mean, you're in the middle of it, so what are you seeing and what are you feeling?
I'm trying to get them separated. I saw KJ reach in his pocket, and I saw the knife handle when it came out.
You saw that.
Which is at that point, then his arm starts forward, and that's when I fired.
After the shot, you backed away a little bit. Were you comfortable with your position, your distance?
No, I would have rather been over in this corner over here.
A bit further away.
I did not like the whole scenario, the closeness of the scenario, and it kind of goes against that personal space, and and I felt that all went out the window very quickly.
What would you change? What do you think you could have done better?
Take a different son to the bar. No,
Don't take that guy to the bar anymore.
Again, I would say that I think where I initially fell down was not getting him out of the bar quicker, letting it get to that point. I also didn't like the fact that they jammed me up in a corner. But again, I was kind of having to, to dance to their tune. I was glad that based on my position, I could actually see him when he came out. I could see the knife here. And then when I saw the forward motion, well, I knew what was coming, or I had a really good feel for what was required at that point.
So kind of like in the first one, your son's the one that kind of started this.
Right.
And this guy pulled a knife, some might say to defend himself. How do you feel about shooting that guy?
Things shifted when he pulled the knife, okay, because we're in a verbal, tentative, pushing, shoving, kind of just male, dominance type thing. But then when he pulled the knife, it's like he actually escalated to a higher level, which then caused me to have to go to the gun. It was not something I wanted to do. I would have loved to have been able just to pull him out of that corner and get him out of there, but KJ, the way he had him pinned in, and then the movement and keeping me from being able to separate him, I felt like that that was probably the best of some worse alternatives.
So that didn't go down exactly as you had planned the scenario.
Hey, the fact of the matter is everybody has choice and it never goes exactly the way that you plan it. We didn't plan him getting physically involved with his son as much as he did. He chose that, and that's the way it went.
Well, I can't believe for a second that you thought that David wasn't going to get involved. He was immediately hands-on. Yeah. It went to the corner, which, for analysis, if that was the only camera we had, we would be betting the entire investigation on David's word.
When you only have one camera angle, which we often have in surveillance video, you may not get the actual incident on camera. Of course, we did with all these fine filming, folks, but this is why the way you articulate things really matters.
So I like the way he said he only put one shot on target because he felt like that's all he needed because the bad guy went down. He got one good hit. It was directly on the spine. He was down. One of my concerns was, as we were watching and he did back out, his gun was out of battery. How do we avoid that? I mean, I know these are Humerex, they're air guns, so they're gonna function weird sometimes. But how do we avoid that, standing over somebody with an empty gun?
Well, we've got to check, right? This is one of the things we do as part of our follow-up action. Check my firearm. Is it in firing condition?
And I know you've got an acronym for that, and people that watch ASP, Active Self-Protection, they're gonna hear it.
To see all of Gun Talk's content, go to guntalk.com, guntalktv.com, or sign up for the Gun Talk newsletter.